basically am interested in this video and content right here. Well, okay, family, so tell me, how do we go from these two beautiful young ladies to these two distraught looking young ladies? So, you want to know why I basically am interested in this video and content right here? Well, hey guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share, follow, and don't forget to hit that. Thank you. I'm invested because we all can relate to the 14-year-old girl, JASYAH Moore, if I'm saying her name right. And we can also relate to some mothers like hers, allegedly, Jamie Moore, who, at the hands of control and tyranny, like to abuse children. So I can relate to both sides of it personally, and I know so many of you can. So let's get into the story of JASYAH Moore, a 14-year-old girl who ran away from home for many reasons. It has came out in media, but we're going to go through some of the footage going on. Now, I don't even know footage. I may put some audio or video in here, but basically I may just go ahead and read some articles, because there's so many different accounts and different narratives out there as to what really happened. But JASYAH has since spoken out since October 14th, when she had ran away. She was recently found, like within the last week. We'll get into all the numbers and the logistics of the case. Her mom came out in the media, Jamie Moore. Now, when I was preparing for this video, I told you nothing is scripted over here, but thinking in my head, I was like, Mammy Moore. Because if she did with her daughter, and this isn't a laughing matter, but if she did what her daughter said she did, she Mammy Moore. And y'all saw that police footage. I'll try to insert it here. Her mugshot. It ain't funny. Anybody went to jail. A 14-year-old had to run away, and a mother feels she has to abuse her children and have control of them. But that mugshot looked like Mammy Moore and not Jamie Moore. And I do apologize for my voice. I moved here 2 months ago, but this been going on since, the 2017. And it's not a raspy voice. It's more sinusy and nasally. And I've been that way most of my life, you all. But it's like, it's gotten real bad. Since I moved in this place that has all electric baseboard heaters, and it is stuffy. I do the old-fashioned, put a pot of stove on the water, put a pot of water on the stove and all of that. But at the same time, it's crazy. So which way do I want to go? That way, so you can see that beautiful lady on the screen right there, or do I just want to come back here and keep it real? So you may see me in the background, but I'm just adding extra editing to the video. Oh God, I'm gonna get there one day, y'all. Don't you worry. Somebody gonna click on my video and say, that's it. That's it right there. That's the balance we need in this earth. She was born a Libra for a reason, because that's the balance we need in this earth. Oh, God. And I guess I'm only laughing because a part of what JASYAH chose to do in her life, I've been there. And I told you guys in many videos, whether my mother didn't want me there and I chose not to be there, I ran away from home. Wasn't so much homeless and had places to go, and some nights I slept at the bottom of my mom's stairs because she wouldn't let me in. And it was either too late because I was running the street and being fast at 14. Nobody would let me in. It's too late to go to their house. I don't want to wake anybody up. So I chose to go and sleep at the bottom of my mother's stairs. When I was 14 years old. So I can relate to that running away from home because you feel like there's a tyrant. You feel like mom don't love you. I say in my case, you feel like your brothers and sisters are ostracizing you, like in Joseph's case. When them damn 11 brothers threw him in the pit and he ended up in Pharaoh's house. But that turned out to be a blessing, we all know. And if you're not too sure about it, I did a video on Facebook today called Proof that God will prepare a table in the presence of, no, make your enemies your footstool. But it goes along with preparing that table. And it starts with Joseph. Because when his brothers went down into Egypt because of the famine, they had to face off with Joseph. And unbeknownst to them, Joseph was the person that they had to concede to for food. And make a deal with for food. And they didn't even know who their brother was. That's a classic case of God. Even though they're family members, preparing a table in the presence of your enemy. They had to come eat out of Joseph's hands, his own brothers. Now his father really didn't know what the brothers did. So it wasn't like you can include Jacob in this. But when the 11 brothers and dad went down into Egypt with the other people to make up 70, when the famine happened, Joseph was the man and got to taunt his brothers. They didn't know it at the time, but got to taunt his brothers for being cruel to him and basically throwing him in a dang on pit so he can die, with the hopes of nobody finding him. I said Joseph was an exploited and missing child then, and this young lady may have been exploited, and we definitely know she was missing. Now me, I told you everything I did from the time I opened my eyes, it was by a free will and choice. Nobody really forced me to do anything. So the choices I made at 14, nobody put a gun to my head. And being 14 then to now is like Josephine Baker and Etta James and Dorothy Dandridge being 14 at their time. They was in the club singing. Hell, we was in the streets balling, getting it, you know what I'm saying? And that's just keeping it real. At 14, you don't know what these kids out here doing. But I know something was going on in that house where she didn't want to be there. And there was times in my life where things went on in my house as well. And my mother didn't want me to be there at times. And I didn't want to be there. And I've told you in my personal testimony that I've done on this channel, I thought my mother didn't love me like she loved the rest of the other people. And the 11 brothers thought Jacob didn't love him or them like he loved Joseph in that coat of many colors. But the difference is they sold Joseph, or they got rid of their brother. I never got rid of any of my family, and will love and fight for them to this day. But family is what family is. And sometimes you can't always get along with family. And at 14, I knew that. Now, I'm not sure if JASYAH know that, but most children that know something ain't right and something is going wrong in the household want to get out. But they can't afford to go live on their own, get their own place, get a job, all that, be grown. Like back in the day, people could do that and was doing that a lot. So they run away. And some of them succumb to the streets. Thank God JASYAH didn't. And thank God I didn't. And the woman who helped me was Miss Ernestine Coleman. God have mercy on that woman. And if that was the one person I wish and should have kept in contact with, and probably do know how, given she's still alive, I will reach out to her. I'm going to make that my business to do that this week. By the weekend. That woman, by the grace of God, and Him putting her in my life, saved my life at 14. And I wasn't even in much danger. I wasn't succumbed to the streets so much. But I just knew I didn't want to be home. So instead of running away, she put things in place. I became the Division for Youth poster child. I went in there, did what I had to do, went in them group homes, went in them foster homes. Shout out to Miss Lita and her family. One of the first foster homes I ever went into. I just didn't want to be home. I was grown beyond all accounts and all measures. I was grown, having my first child at 14 years old and 8 months. I'm not ashamed of my testimony. My testimony is called unashamed. I ain't got no reason to be ashamed. A lot of people are going through worse things than I went through at 14. Hell, at 14, people could tell you who grew up with me, we had a good life. My mom was strict in certain areas. And you know, and when you have other children, sometimes you don't, as a parent, you don't know how to divide your love equally. And I'm not speaking against my mom, no way, no shape, no form. But this woman, in JASYAH's case, Mammy Moore, she was basically got two separate dads. JASYAH had her dad, and the little brother, JASYAH's little brother, had her dad, because reports are going to say her ex-husband is being charged in some court down in East Orange, New Jersey, for socking little JASYAH in the face. So we all know she was going through something. And if mama had a man at home socking me in my face, my ass would have ran away too. But thank God that was never my case. It was always just me and mama, born in the same month, born of the same sign, born of the same virgin. You knew I had to throw a little church and God and Jesus up in there on you people. That's why these people, families are so destroyed now, based on the church and what Paul been teaching y'all. But I'm here to tell you, baby, the generational curses stopped when it came to me. When I realized I had to go through some things up until 19 to really, really get the streets out of my system. And even then, they weren't out of my system. You ain't talking about the son of perdition, bitch. I was the daughter. I'm only joking. I wasn't that damn bad. I don't think I sent nobody to hell. And if I did, I'm sure I repent and ask God for forgiveness. Christians, can I get an amen? I'm redeemed, right? That's all you have to do. No, I had to work at it. I had to sacrifice a lot of things in the streets in order to get where I am as a woman, a child of God, a mother, a grandmother, a sister, a aunt. Hard labor to set yourself apart from what the rest of the world is doing, when all you knew, like the Christians say, born in the sin, that's all I knew. I was living up to who they said I was. On one hand, I'm predestined and ordained and created in God's image. And on the other hand, I'm a sinner going to hell from a baby. Oh, from a baby. I'm a sinner and I'm going to hell. I can't say my ABCs, but Satan's after me. The fuck? I'm sorry, y'all. What in the world are we teaching these people today? That ain't of God. One hand, you're born in his image and created after him. He wasn't no sinner. He wasn't born in the sin. But on the other hand, whose hand is that? Oh, I say on the other hand. Whose hand is that? I say on the other hand. Whose hands? Oh, whose hand is that? No, I got to. This is my story of JASYAH Moore and her mama. Facts of the matter is, the young girl ran away because she didn't want to be home, because she came out and said old Mammy Moore, the tyrant, was pouring bleach in her eyes, was cutting her braids out. That's why they said allegedly her hair is shaved in some of these pictures you're seeing. And stabbed her. I know people who have suffered worse at the hands of their mother. Some children are dead because of their mother. I thank God my mother loved me enough not to take my life. She might have beat my ass and disciplined me. Sometimes she may have went overboard, but she loved me enough to keep me alive. And sometimes y'all go overboard. And take your kids down by the river. But the change that's gonna come is the babies ain't living no more. So, you hear people cover cases on social media. Tell your story when you cover somebody else's story. How does it relate to you? That's the only way I'll speak on somebody else's business. That's the only reason I speak on the Bible. I'm all in it. I'm just not Greek. And I'm not a Gentile. And I don't serve Jesus. I follow Yahweh in doing the best of my faith's ability to keep his commandments, judgments, statutes, ordinance, law, da 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 da. And that's it, that's all. Don't ask me how Christians in there. Don't ask me how Egypt's in there. Don't ask me how the Queen of Heaven is in there. Don't ask me how Dionysus is in that Bible. Don't ask me how Paul is in that Bible. Ooh, Lord, I've been destroying Paul in that morning read, y'all. Don't ask me how. Since they want to be there, they get talked about. Some of them get read down for filth. Like them filthy rags over there in the Old Testament, honey. Let me tell you, alright? So, I was fake kind of ass. Why am I invested in this story, right? Because a young 14-year-old girl allegedly suffered abuse at the hands of her mother and ran away. And this girl was tracked in New Jersey, tracked in Brooklyn, tracked in Harlem, tracked in a domestic violence shelter. Now that was smart of her at 14. All girls ain't smart at 14. I just heard a story by black girls Unlost News, BG Girl News over there on YouTube. It's called Black Girls Unlost, the channel. Quadar, Qadr, Quadar Williams, I believe the 10-year-old girl is. Black girl, dreads in her hair, glasses, Mount Airy, wherever that is, people. Been missing for 3 weeks. Why don't we hear about this? With forced appearance. I don't know the details, but just like the West Oren and his brother, the West Boys, forced appearance. Sometimes people go overboard. I'm just saying, there's reports going around about Ezra Blunt's father being in love with Travis Scott and may have in some strange way came over with that demonic spirit that was out there in Houston at Astroland, because he had it tattooed all over his body. Have a picture of Travis Scott on his body, and when he do his interviews, it don't look like he had no loss of life for his son in him. It was almost like it was a ritual, a sacrifice to the God that was controlling Travis Scott to do that evil chant he was doing on that stage, baby. And for all that wickedness that happened. Hold on, I'm coming. Hey, what's going on? Hi. Hey. So, alright. Hold on. So somebody asked on Facebook, what do your grandchildren... Hold on. Can you... Yeah. So somebody asked on Facebook, what do your grandchildren call you? They were asking grandparents, what do your grandchildren call you? What do you call me?
Gammy.
Alright, they both said it at the same time. I'm Gammy. And that's Gamisha, and that's Gamito, but we call them Poppy, okay? But that's Gamito and Gamisha on the phone, and I'm Gammy, all right? Y'all, I'm going live. What y'all doing?
Nothing. Just at Daddy's house.
All right, say hi. Say hi to live. Say hi to live. Say hi, Lele. Say hi, Poppy. Hey, I'm recording. Say hi. Boy, get your lips up. What? All right, y'all tell your mom and dad I say hi, and I'll call you back before. I'm only gonna be recording for a little while longer.
Okay.
All right, love y'all. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I'll keep it real around here. Anyway, yeah, so they said the daddy wasn't even having any kind of like broken heartness about him. Now this is the spirit world talking. Since they want to conjure up spirits, and Travis Scott said he required the blood of his followers.
Just like what you just said, I was gonna be reaching for that bad headline or that bad thing. So I'm aware. That's why I was just like, man. But when I do my shows, I be so turned, man.
It's another level.
Yeah,
Travis Scott's on stage.
I'm not like the guy that got like, I had the backup dancers. I ain't got the drummers and that.
No.
I'm all about the blood. I had the backup dancers. I ain't got the drummers and that.
No.
I'm all about the blood. We gotta turn up.
The
It's
blood.
all about blood. Just like
Who's bleeding on stage?
I mean, I'm not bleeding. Fans are like
I feel you.
giving their bodies.
And he required their bodies so these demons can get in, and baby, a whole 50,000 normal people might have went in to Travis Scott, and maybe not, because he probably had already been recruiting his cult following, because he said, y'all know what y'all came to do. I gave you Astro number 1, Astro number 2, 3 strikes, you out of here. The third one didn't happen, but the fourth one is the third one. They went from 1 year to 1 year, skip a year. This the third one in year 4. Child, that's what the spirits is saying, okay? And they said that Daddy Blunt, they said Daddy Blunt, baby, was not like Daddy Warbuck over little Annie. Daddy Warbuck protected little Annie. But they said Daddy Blunt took little baby Ezra up in there. A little 70 pound. I got an 8 and a 9, about to be 9 and 10. Y'all just saw them. Ain't no way in hell my fat ass gonna take one of them and put them up on my damn shoulders. Talking about I'm going in with 50,000 deep. I weigh damn near what most of the people weigh in there. Shit. And Daddy Blunt was big, honey. Talking about he done put a half a human being up on his damn neck. And if so, by gravity, he had every right to lose breath and conscience and cause the fall of his son, and don't want to admit it if that's what really happened. But the spirit said, baby, oh, Daddy Blunt was in there with Travis talking about, yes, God, I pray for protection over the people's mind. Don't go listen to that song, please, unless you put on the mind of Christ and the helmet of salvation to protect that mind, okay? Because that's where the battle, the warfare take place, baby. Don't let nobody fool you. It's at Armageddon. Baby! Don't let nobody fool you. It's the apocalypse. Been going on for a long time, y'all. It's the spirits talking to you now. Since they want to play with the spirit over there in Astroland, which is the galaxy, which is the universe, and the creator created, and all that in the fullness thereof, I'm going to play with the spirit too. So the spirit said, oh, Daddy was over there, Travis, raging. He was just raging. He raged so much, his ass done raged away from his little son. And when he raged up and woke the hell up, he realized, whoa, I done shifted from where the hell I was. I done shifted into something else. And where the hell is my damn son? Admit the fact that Daddy Blunt may have caused his son's death because of negligence. Something black parents do a lot. You sacrifice your kids to these demon gods. You worship these demon singers and demon gods more than you do the Most High God, and wonder why you losing your children. Oh, Mammy Moore. I don't know what God she served. If it's Jesus, I see why. My mama she went to church. She's a blessed woman, but she ain't raised us in church. I got into church on my own. Took advantage of it when I was young, 8, 9, 10, go to Vocation Bible School on the big yellow bus, singing, I have decided to follow Jesus, and living like the devil. Until I got 19. I'm telling you. And I'm 54 now, y'all. So God is a work in progress, yes indeed. But when we going to stop using that excuse and be redeemed, restored, past tense, recovered? As long as you recovering in AA, and you going to be recovering. And you can't get from not recovering, because that's your cycle in life. Listen at what you're saying. Most people get off drugs recovered. They're done with it. It's a thing of the past. Most people in recovery, it's an ongoing thing. Think about it, people. So, Mammy Moore, I don't know what God she served. But what I do know is a demon up in her ass that need to come out, you unclean spirit. out here messing with these children. And children, you just gotta buck up, tell somebody, look, I cannot live home. And unfortunately, there is no place in America for you to go like Dorothy. Ain't no red slippers for you. Ain't no eyes for you. No Tin Man, no Scarecrow, no Cowardly Lion. It just ain't. And it's really unfair. But the Bible says if you honor your mother and father, your days will go well with you. I had to learn that. And my mother cannot tell you, other than a couple weeks ago, my family started harassing me and ganging up on me. I put a little distance between us. But it's not a bad relationship. My mother know I love her. The ground she walk on. Do she always feel the same about me? That's between her and God. For the way she chose to treat her 5 girls and 1 son. And I said, whatever I went through in my personal family with my siblings and mom, I'm not going through that shit with my daughter. And the devil said, oh yes you is, bitch. You gonna go through it and go through it and go through it and go through it and go through it until I just told y'all the story on Facebook about how my grandson she's pregnant with now was breached about 2 weeks ago and kind of flipped himself around. And I did a whole sermon on the breached baby or the breach, BREACHED baby. The one they tell you come into this world as my grandson, as a sinner. Not only do the devil want my grandson to come in as a sinner, want him to come in breach. Tell me we ain't being persecuted. So I had to learn. And by the grace of God, when the devil come in like a flood, God raises up a standard. When 1,000 fall at your right and 10,000 at your left, God says none shall come nigh thee. When the devil come in one way, oh baby, he got to flee 7 different ways, messing with me and mine. Those that want to be connected to this anointing. A lot of families can't take your gifts, can't take your talents, can't take you as a person. So there's going to be competition and issues. And I'm sure there was with JASYAH and her mother. Especially when little young 14-year-old girls start to smell themselves. Or the peen of a young boy and go crazy and want to be out the house with that boy, this, that, and the third, like in my case, possibly could have been, along with not just wanting to be home, realistically. And then when they start to smell themselves, oh, it's gonna be a problem. Because now mom is still buying your clothes for the most part, still eating her groceries, still staying up in her house. You out in the street laying up, chasing boys, ain't bringing no money into the house. You being grown. The little girl got a nose ring piercing. Got her head shaved. There's some pictures out that she had a mohawk before she got the braids. And people were saying that possibly she was shaving her head because her mom was pulling out her hair, leaving bald spots and patches from where the braids and things used to be. So, anyway, the mom, excuse me, y'all. Anyway, mom ended up getting arrested. Yes, mom ended up getting arrested. So, let's see if we can go ahead and read some of these. Hey y'all, so I want to go ahead and give you some commentary about JASYAH Moore and her mom, Mammy Moore. I don't know why Mammy Moore sticks in my head, y'all, but we're going to call Jamie Moore, Mamie Moore, for the purposes of this video, Because anyone that can, you know, I don't know, it has to do with her mugshot, I think, y'all. I'll show a picture of it here and tell me if you guys agree. Does she look like Jamie or Mamie? And I know this case is serious. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to joke on anybody's arrest, running away from home, or anything like that. But just Mamie sticks out. So if I say Mamie, beg my pardon, okay? So now, first of all, let's just go ahead and read up on what some of the things that's going on. Some of the facts of the matter are JASYAH Moore, a 14-year-old girl. JASYAH Moore, a 14-year-old girl, ran away from home on October 14th. Why? Because she didn't want to be home. And there's evidence to prove that. There was also evidence to prove that she was being abused, not only by her mother, but last year by her mother's ex-boyfriend, name unknown at this point. She was punched in the face, I believe, twice, according to the aunt. So as we delve into this story, many of us can relate to running away from home at 14. Many of us can relate to having issues with our parents. Many of us can probably relate to having issues with our parents' spouses, whether biological or step parents. Many of us can probably relate to just not seeing eye to eye with our parents, especially for girls, their mothers. So as we get into JASYAH's Moore story, a 14-year-old who went missing, only to lead to her mother's arrest when she was found, due to accusations that the mother was pouring bleach in her eyes. And I say to anybody, get help immediately as soon as it happens. Her mother stabbed her. But somehow we learn to protect our abusers in our community, even as a 14-year-old. We don't want to see nothing happen to mom or them get in trouble so they can get away with hurting us. And nobody do anything about it. Because the child is trying to protect the mother. Now, reports say, let's just go ahead and skim through some of this. This is coming out of PIX 11, written by Mary Murphy on October 28th. So we basically know that on November 12th, the mother of the New Jersey teen who disappeared and was later found safe in New York City was arrested Friday, the Essex County Prosecutor's Office said. Now, on November 11th, the teen was found in New York City, officials said. And remember, she went missing on October 14th, reports say. So, East Orange, New Jersey is reporting a 14-year-old disappeared 2 weeks ago after visiting an East Orange deli to pick up some essentials for her family. And it's reported she went to get juice and paper towels. With details very scarce, even the girl's PlayStation game was taken by police during an investigation at her home. So she has a PlayStation, okay? But reports say she doesn't have a phone. And reports are going to go on to say, we're going to listen to some audio, where she wasn't registered in school. And I'm wondering if they had those school loaned out tablets or a computer. Was she not registered because mom didn't want to register her or didn't want them to see the abuse? Maybe she needed time to heal from the wounds she suffered at the hands of her mother, so she couldn't go to school? Is it possible? So, the process has been extremely painful for the family, all while trying to get her home safe. Now, remember, she's found But we're backtracking and just reading some of these articles that I had stored up on this computer here, okay? And we're just seeing, giving our opinion, giving commentary, uh, you know, forming our own narrative over here because so many people have reported on this. But again, everybody is going to look at this differently. Some people are just going to talk about JASYAH and her mom and not even mention that this happens almost 95%, 50%, 75%. It's a high number. We playing card sharks here, okay? Remember that game? It's a high percentage that these people are abusing their children, such as those that took their children to the Travis Scott concert, such as Daddy Blunt. I don't know his name. But the spirit is saying that he did not protect his son out there. He almost almost sacrificed, allegedly offered up his son for some sick connection in the spirit with Travis Scott. That's what that spirit that they conjured up that night of November 5th, 2021, out in Houston, Texas, at a place called Astroland, way out in the galaxy somewhere. A place where no man really want to go but those that require the blood in the body of its followers, like Travis Scott. Probably got in the spirits of some of them parents that night. Allegedly, Daddy Blunt and little Ezra succumbed to his injuries at first and then lost his life because old Daddy Blunt neglected his son at the concert. Got so caught up in Travis Scott, he lost sight and awareness of his child. Now, reports say that old Daddy Blunt put his child up on his neck. Now, Daddy Blunt is not a small man. And if you got a 9-year-old weighing like my grandson do around here, which is about maybe 80 pounds, 85 pounds, but he's not fat. He's a nice 9-year-old kid. Ain't no way in hell I can carry him around on my shoulders at no concert. And gravity would have it, science would have it, if a heavy man put a 60, 75-pound child up on your neck, damn near half your size. Ezra was a small child, but a 9-year-old is half a human being. They're big, they're tall, they're growing into themselves. On your neck at a concert smushed with 50,000 other people, it's almost guaranteed and expected that you pass out and lose consciousness and also connection with your son. Will anybody ask this man to step up and assume neglect for even taking his son to the Travis Scott concert? Paying $400 a ticket? Having Travis Scott tattooed on his body? Having his IG and social media flooded with Travis Scott? Travis Scott had made a comment. Y'all know what you came here to do. You either came here to sacrifice somebody or you came here willing to die. Some people weren't willing to die and didn't know they were going to die. Let's keep it real. Some people were totally taken off guard. But those that worship Travis Scott the way that he wants his people to worship him, with their blood in their body, know what they came there that night to do. And the spirit is saying Daddy Blunt allegedly took his son there, got caught up in that spirit that was there, and it overtook him. And then in the long run took his son. Now, back to this young lady. And that goes on a lot in our community and in the world, period. A lot of people are idolizing and worshiping these celebrities that they're just like the days of the children of Israel. still sacrificing their children to Molech, to the gods of the underworld, and not the God above. So there's a quote, there's a lot of heartless people out here, the teen mom, Mammy Moore, said, and she's one of them if she abused her child. We get a couple of requests for money for information, which I turned over to the police. We get a couple of requests for money. This is all about money, if you ask me, says the spirit. Listen, these people tried to raise $15,000 or raise $15,000. And you're going to hear the news reporter say, well, what's going to become of the money? Why do black people think money can fix a missing person? Why do black people think money can fix a gunshot wound? Why do black people think money can fix white supremacy? Why do black people think money? Because this Bible say money answer all things. It also say you can't love God and mammon, which is money. Make your mind up. Being spiritual is a struggle. Pick one. God, today, this woman is crazy. So, y'all, I got about 7 links I'm going to drop. They're all basically from Channel 7 and PIX 11, redundantly saying the same things with a little difference here and there. But overall, I mean, it goes on to say the missing teen's case didn't receive much attention when she first vanished on October 14th, and that is true. A lot of people do not rush to the aid of missing black people, period. And then the aunt is going to say in one of the videos I did the other day, you can go on my channel and watch, there's no urgency with the police as far as our community goes. They don't rush in when one of ours come up missing. She even go on and say in that video that they came to the deli, looked around, didn't really look at the footage, was eating and drinking and laughing and joking, and really wasn't giving her niece much attention. And I say, was the mother? Was Mammy Moore? Oh, she was giving her attention, all right, allegedly, right? Abusive attention, but she was giving it to her nonetheless. Did the aunt come out and report that? That's the thing with our community a little bit. Police, they ain't no... Some of them are wolves in sheep clothing. That young lady came up missing. Christina, remember her in the police van? Then there's another lady, Treasure, came up missing next in a police car or van or RV or something, and they get off scot-free. They're not perfect. But what our community do is look outside to blame somebody, but the blame is right within this young girl's house. You're going to hear reports say she did not want to be home. And at 14, I'm sure people can make that decision. Now, is there places for our children to go when they don't want to be home? Unfortunately not, because when they go to CPS, they come up missing. When they go to foster care, they come up even more abused. And when they get adopted, as in the Orange of the West little boys, they come up missing. For real, Mammy Moore. So knock it off in our community. You have these kids, love these kids. Well, children, they ain't baby goats. Although Christianity wants you to think they sheep. Now, let me stop. Because we are, in a sense, but not the way they want us to be slaughtered and slain instead of fed so we can live. Now, reports also go on. When y'all read through these things, here go a quote from the aunt. My niece is a black Afro-Latino girl, you understand? The teen's aunt Yolanda Moore said to PIX 11 News. Quote, when you're in a disfranchised community like East Orange, there's a lot of, I would say, ignoring black little girls. Absolutely true. But when you live in Mammy Moore house, they're even more ignored, right? You cannot sit here and blame blame this on your community. Yes, there's communities that make life hard for us, but we all have a choice and some kind of duty to God to be a steward over these children and train them in the way they should grow. Yeah, they may grow up and depart, but the word is instilled in them. And I think that's what's missing in our community, right? So the girl seemed wise enough to be out in the community doing her own thing. I mean, she made it from New Jersey to Brooklyn to Manhattan to help to somewhere in a domestic violence shelter where she knew she can tell her story and feel a little safe maybe after all of this was going on. All right, so for the niece to be out here with this I meant the aunt with this pro-black Afro-Latino, y'all don't care about us attitude. It's the community. I told you it's the heart and the spirit of a person that makes their community in their home the way it is. You can't blame it on anybody but yourself, Mammy Moore, in this situation. And I should say Yolanda Moore. She has to be the sister of the mother. They have the same last name, unless one might be married to one brother. I'm not sure. I don't know how they're related. I'm thinking they're sisters of the same mother, possibly. But still, Yolanda, you can't come out here throwing darts and bullets at nobody but your sister or your family member who bears your same last name. However, all right, so the teen mother said her daughter went to U.S. Food Market on Central Avenue in East Orange about 7:30 in the morning. Now, what you're going to read, it says to get juice and paper towels. The mother did not flag down a police officer until it got dusk. Now, if your daughter was really missing, Miss Mammy Moore, you would have went on and got her help early on in the day. You said about an hour she was gone. She went back after she reported that the card came up missing 7:30 so-ish in the morning. By 8:30 you should have been reporting her missing. This is why I say, Yolanda Moore, you can't come out here talking about the police don't care. Her mother didn't care. The minute she didn't come back, with or without the card, with or without the juice, with or without the paper towels, I'd have been on that phone calling somebody. And that brings me to the point, she didn't have a phone. But you guys can definitely go out and borrow somebody's phone when you find yourself in a situation either missing or need help or just don't feel like being home. Like I said, as close as the aunt is talking here like she was to JASYAH, maybe she shared with the aunt what the mother was doing to her. But for some reason, we in our community like to protect our abusers, just like we as a community protect white supremacy. Uphold it, worship it, idolize it so it doesn't abuse us anymore. But what end up happening? We get abused all the more, even more so. So you can't decide to stay in those kind of relationships, mother-child relationships, on the job. If God did not intend for you to be abused, and at 14 years old, this girl recognized that and didn't want to be her mother's punching bag. And apparently neither did the estranged ex-husband. He got the hell up out of there. Now, was he right for putting his hands on JASYAH? No. And maybe that's why JASYAH don't want to be around her mother, because she still let this man in her presence. It's all alleged here, y'all. I'm just saying. And you know it damn well could be facts. Let's keep it real, y'all. So, quote, I just said, backtrack your steps, Mammy Moore. Remembered? After Jamie came home, she came back and said, Mommy, I lost the card. Mammy Moore recalled. The teen was referring to the EBT card used by many families for assistance in purchasing food. Absolutely. Y'all better get that's about as much reparation your ass gonna get from this government. You better go get you some food stamps. Go get you some free cable. Go get you some damn free phones. Go get some help with your rent. I don't know. But these programs are out there, and it's funny how they want to put that in here, right? They just could have said her benefit card. We don't know what benefit card it is. Money on a cash card is a benefit card. It benefits you to have money on a card and put some cash on there, okay? When you in times of need. Now, where is this benefit card? Has it ever been found? So, it basically, again, the daughter didn't come back within an hour. That's when she should have told the police to come on down. But she knew she was up to no good. And the article goes on to say she waited until it got to dusk. Finally, Jamie Moore said she flagged down a police car before dusk after her daughter went missing, damn near 7:30 in the morning, and reported her daughter missing. And her Yolanda Moore want to say police don't act quick. She better say Mamie Moore didn't act quick either, or as well. The mother said police searched her house on Amherst Street the first day and returned to remove her daughter's video games, personal documents, and even the mother's phone. Mamie Moore said her daughter did not have her own personal phone. It's a curse and a blessing. When they come up missing, do they need the phone for help? Yes. For social media purposes, all that other stuff, get themselves in trouble, caught up with boys? No. Like that little 15-year-old girl, they said she was at school texting a man, and he told her to wipe everything off her computer, and she been missing ever since. A young black girl. Come on now. Do you want them to have the phone to be preyed on by these predators? No. But if this child was really missing and she didn't have a phone, that put her in more danger, Mamie Moore. So how do y'all feel about that? Do your children have phones at 14? Are you training them what the purposes is for? I know everybody wants social media. We all just know what happened to Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie behind social media and the pressure that comes with it. We're going to hear mom say that this young girl, JASYAH, wants to start a YouTube channel, cook and be a homebody. And so yeah, it goes on to say the stepfather has been arrested last year for simple assault, and Mamie Moore showed us the letter family recently received for the teen to testify before a grand jury. Now, it was, the spirit says, Mamie Moore was trying to make it seem like, well, maybe she's missing because of the grand jury coming up. Maybe my ex-husband, probably got something to do with it. But a prosecutor from the Essex County said, no. Quote, the domestic violence cases proceeding against the defendant, Catherine Carter, a public information officer in the Essex County Prosecutor Office, wrote, quote, we are aware of the fact that the mother reported the daughter missing. The missing persons case is being handled by municipal authorities in East Orange. At this point, the domestic violence assault and the status of the missing person does not appear to be related. You got that, Mamie Moore? No, she didn't put that in there. I did, y'all. However, it is being monitored by law enforcement. Oh, baby. And the FBI came in. They wanted her to take a polygraph test, one report says. So when I put these links down below, y'all comb through this and see what you come up with. So anyway, this report goes into say what the store clerk and everybody say. Now, grandmama, y'all heard my grandchildren call me Gammy, right? Grandmother Yolanda Aguilera spoke in English and Spanish, and she was telling the news team it seemed like an extraterrestrial came out of nowhere to snatch the girl. That's demon seed. That's demon time. You damn right it was extraterrestrial, Grandma Aguilera. This whole world is on demon time right now. Not the whole. God, take that back. No, we ain't all on demon time. But this is some astral land, out of space. The energy is still flowing through the nation kind of nonsense. People crazy out here. So anyway, this report goes on to say the little brother is sad that his sister isn't there. Mom goes on to say that basically she wanted to be like I said, go to YouTube. Let me find, oh, right here. Mamie Moore said her daughter aspired to create her own YouTube channel, loved to cook, and was mostly a homebody. She didn't have a phone, so how's she gonna start her own YouTube channel? She probably was in the kitchen cooking when allegedly Mamie Moore stabbed her. And she was mostly a homebody because the tyrant Mamie Moore wouldn't let her be a little 14-year-old girl. Probably had her home babysitting little brother. And the girl said, I'm tired of this. And she left home, y'all. So what do you think about it? It's a different era when James Brown, Sam Cooke, Dorothy Dandridge, Lil Esther, Etta James, Prince. I mean, I can keep going back though. You know, the Ellingtons, like I said, the Josephine Bakers, Lola Falanas. They all ended up in nightclubs singing. 14, 15 years old, having babies. Their parents too. It's a different era. I know. It was not widely accepted then. Some parents kind of resistant of it, but it was widely accepted then for 14 and 13-year-olds to have babies and raise families and move out their house. In our generation, we was more wiser than this generation. And then the 14-year-old JASYAH showed wisdom because she knew she was being abused and she went and got help. Most people don't recognize that. And like I said, will play the Me Too movement and silence themselves just to protect the parents or the family. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all listen to a little bit of clips here. I'm going to see if I get some audio. Y'all. Hold on.
Teenager is now safe, but tonight that mother is the one in trouble and facing serious charges. Her arrest has left people in East Orange shocked and frustrated.
With the new details in this complicated story, here's Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon.
Jamie Moore is now facing 2 counts of child endangerment. The 39-year-old mom, as recently as yesterday, pleaded for help finding her 14-year-old daughter missing for nearly a month, insisting she couldn't have run away.
And I'm hopeful that my daughter is going to be returned to me safely.
The teen is safe after being found in Harlem thanks to a tip.
She was in several locations, as far as we can tell, in New Jersey, ultimately, though, ending up in New York.
But she had changed her appearance and wasn't trying to get home. The acting Essex County prosecutor says Jamie Moore has some explaining to do about what was going on with her daughter.
It also does not appear that she was registered in a school.
The case consumed this community. So many people searched, donated, and emotionally supported a mother desperate for answers. Tonight, neighbors have more questions, but there's also relief. So many feared the worst.
I was scared that we might have been walking past her and abducted by someone and hurt, and in one of these abandoned buildings or something, and we're walking past her every day.
Neighbors here on the street where the teen was last seen on video the day she vanished did not expect her mom to be charged.
Didn't see that one coming. But I feel like the girl is old enough to make phone calls. Obviously, she didn't want to be found.
The community is grateful tonight that she was, and that she's getting help.
We also, we angry because her mother, we felt that her mother had misled the community. I'm just hoping that whatever is going on in the household that caused her to leave, hope they can resolve that.
In East Orange, Sonia Rincon, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
All right, Sonia Rincon, thank you for reporting, and I got it from here. Now, the 2 things I get out of this is the man said she didn't go to school. Why? Was it the mom trying to let her daughter heal from the wounds? Was it she I don't know, like that's the only solution. Did she have a computer for her to do virtual learning? The girl didn't even have a phone. So, the spirit said allegedly that the girl was home healing and recuperating because of maybe some of the injuries she suffered at the hand of her mother. Now, the second thing is the woman says she could have called home, and I agree, borrow a phone, but she didn't want to be home, point blank. But in a situation where you find yourself without a phone, ask somebody to use their phone if you're in a situation to do so, okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and I just want to play one more clip for y'all. And then we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. Hold on, I think I got one more clip.
Safe after being missing for a month. Now, last night at 10, News 12 broke the news that 14-year-old JASYAH Moore was found alive and safe after being missing for a month. But that was not the end of the story. Tonight, her mother, Jamie, is now charged with child endangerment. News 12 New Jersey's Chris Keating is back on Central Avenue in East Orange tonight with these new developments. Chris?
And Kurt, Jamie Moore right now is inside the Essex County Jail awaiting a court date. She's being charged by the Essex County prosecutor with abuse and neglect of her teenage daughter. And we can tell you, as of right now, it is not at all clear as to when she'll be allowed to see her daughter JASYAH again. Tonight, 14-year-old JASYAH Moore and her 3-year-old brother will not be in their home along Amherst Street in East Orange. Both are right now in the custody of Child Protection and Permanency.
She basically is being cared for, if you will, between the Essex County Prosecutor's Office and DCP&P.
Acting County Prosecutor Theodore Stevens confirms the 14-year-old was indeed a runaway, and that when found, the teen did not want to go home. Authorities saying she even cut her hair so as not to be discovered. Authorities say she was located Thursday in New York City along Lenox Avenue. Apparently, someone who had seen media coverage about her saw her and called police. She was gone 29 days, and during that time, we're told she was in New Jersey and a shelter in Brooklyn before traveling to Manhattan to meet with someone. When asked how she made it to New York and took care of herself, we've been told,
obviously, this was an extremely resilient and resourceful young lady, and she decided that she wanted to be someplace other than where she had been.
The last time she was seen was on surveillance video on October 14th in 2 different delis in East Orange. In both cases, she had someone buying her drinks and candy and never looked under duress. While East Orange police have always said there was no evidence pointing to foul play or abduction, her mother, Jamie Moore, was convinced otherwise.
She did not run away. She did not run away. She was abducted.
Authorities say that before she left town, the teen had not been enrolled in any school. And on that day, October 14th, she had been told by her mom to go out and find her debit card. But it's not clear if that was her motive for leaving. Police say no one else is facing any charges, and there's no evidence she was getting help. Authorities believe that JASYAH was fully aware a massive search was underway for her. And finally, about that $20,000 reward for information leading to the 14-year-old, well, we're still waiting to find out whether or not that Good Samaritan over in New York is going to collect on that cash. In East Orange tonight, I'm Chris Keating, News 12.
Thank you so much, Chris. I'll take it from here. Now, what I get out of this is the girl did not want to be home. She had enough. At 14, some people know when they had enough. Some people don't want to go a lifetime being abused, allegedly, mistreated, suffering at the hands of their abuser. Also, what I get out of this is mom, when she yelled she was abducted, that was her crying out again or trying to connect the dots to the grand jury case, the spirits are saying, allegedly, and her trying to connect her estranged husband. Now, as far as the money Chris was talking about, one report says that they earned about $15,000. Let me see. Hold on. Bear with me. I do believe it was $15,000 that was raised. About the Good Samaritan, the person who recognized her, kudos to them, for getting involved. Saved her life. The cop said she was resilient and can navigate New York City. That may be true, but even adults can't survive in New York City sometimes. Hey y'all, shalom and welcome back to my channel. Okay, it's actually the next day. Yes, I had to sleep on this video. There was some technical issues or whatever. But guys, I want to interject here. As I'm editing this footage, this is real time. It's about 10:47 East Coast time. And I do believe today is November 18th, 2021. This footage was actually done on the 17th, but I'm just now finishing up editing it this morning about the money situation. Basically, something just came in my spirit as I was editing this. I just said shout out to the person, kudos to the ones who the person that identified her and called the cops or whatever. Was that person and moms in cahoots for this alleged money that would be raised? No one knows if anyone is ever going to raise money or donate money. Hell, George Floyd is the only one I know raised like $13 million for his unfortunate demise. You know what I'm saying? And people pushing GoFundMe's for him. But it's just something that the spirit is saying. There may have been some money grab going on here for whatever reason with the mother. And it's just funny how the little girl, she take a little journey from New Jersey to New York, but be seen somewhat, it seems like, by a family friend, or maybe possible as someone who just noticed her because of the news. Now remember, this wasn't national, but it may have been local since October 14th. So I just wanted to insert this here and see if you guys feel like there may be some, shanky janky business going on here, because there's a $15,000 amount raised. There's a $20,000 offer being offered to this person that identified her. And like the newsman Chris said, will she collect on it or he collect on it? And then we know mom with the GoFundMe and $10,000. So what do you guys think about this? And let me know down below in the comments, because spirit ain't always right. Only the spirit of the Most High God. So sometimes when it comes to my spirit and what I'm feeling, yeah, I tend to get it right 99.99.99.999999999 times. And then there's just that 1%, of that I may be wrong. I mean, 0.0000000 to the trillionth degree 1% wrong. Now let me stop. Let me know what you think down below. But that's just something that came across my spirit. I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. God bless you and have an amazing day today, you all. Peace. Girl, leaving home or whatever because she don't want to be there, because she's being abused, possibly allegedly having to babysit, being the older child, do everything for mom, as a scapegoat, or some would say flunky. And children get tired of that and grow up too fast in their circumstances. And what do you think about mom, Mammy Moore, out here crying her child was abducted when she know she's the fuel behind the fire of her daughter not even wanting to be home? But just like in any other case, it takes you by surprise and by storm when people resist, right, Mammy Moore? When people no longer want to be your punching bag in life and say, no, enough is enough, and don't show up one night because they don't want to be there, it puts you in a different mindset, right? it makes you appreciate your child a little bit more. You start to miss her. You worry now. Well, you should have been worried when she was home. With that being said, y'all, let me know what you think about this whole entire crazy situation. Do you agree that children just don't want to be home? Do you think 14-year-olds, again, are mature enough to say, I don't want to be home? Do you think there's any safe place for children who don't want to be home to go in America? And what do you feel about abusive parents? Going back way in time. Spare the rod and not the child. Some people know how to discipline their children without going too far and abusing their children, neglecting their children, and causing physical harm, and in some cases, death to their own children. So if you like this kind of commentary, please subscribe to my channel for more. Hit the notification bell as well so that you're notified when I go live, upload, and or premiere. Don't forget to follow me over on Patreon, IG, and YouTube at ReligionWinked TV. Okay? And with that being said, y'all know my spiritual ears stay. Why? Because we sipping on all the tea we can over here with no shade. That sinful hatred and demonic evil towards nobody. Hey guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share, follow, and don't forget to hit that me, right? With that being said, shalom everybody, and have a great day. Peace. Quote, father figure says he helped her search for a lost debit card before mom told her to go look again. Guys, what do you think this craziness is about, huh? Well, listen. This was posted November 11th, 2021, right? Early on in the investigation. Not early enough, but as soon as they can, get the information from mom and whoever else allegedly that she was missing, right? So it goes on to say, the mother of a New Jersey teen who disappeared and was later found safe in New York City was arrested Friday, the Essex County Prosecutor's Office said. Now, honey, this is where it gets so scandalous and so messy and so weird. And whenever there's a lie around surrounding anything, generally that's where it ends up, right? But we want to get into this father figure, okay? We want to get into this father figure because a New Jersey man who claims he's the father of a missing 14-year-old, not the missing 14-year-old, but posted on Facebook Thursday that he tried to help her find a missing debit card before the girl's mother sent her out again to search for it. And as I was sitting here, I was ready to wrap up my video. Someone said, go through these links again, these articles again. I said, wait a minute. And I did see a video where the man, he was basically in the store with her allegedly, if this is the man, daddy figure, buying the juice and the paper towels. So what do you think about this? Have you guys seen the clip? If not, I'll go ahead and insert it here of the man buying her the stuff in the store. And it led me to, ask the question, where is the original debit card? Why did he have to buy that in the store for her? And if she had her mother's debit card, why is daddy figure paying for it? Now, reports are going to go on to say that it's alleged mom might have had an affair with this man, and because she gave 2 accounts in this article. But Spirit says they probably did allegedly have a relationship, and just like so many other people that be dating and things of that nature, I'm not accusing anybody of anything sexually or perverted, but it just seems that these men take a liking or an attraction to the children a lot more than the mother, or just for some reason it's just weird, and it just makes me want to say, ladies and gentlemen, stop letting your children sit on Santa's lap, anybody else's lap. We know what happens when anybody sit on anybody damn lap. So with that being said, knock it off today, okay? Now, so he goes on to say, y'all quote, I appreciate the media reporting my daughter missing, but they got it twisted, honey. Omar Muse wrote on Facebook, I am not a family friend, and I am not the older man. I am the father. So with him saying this right here, end quote, leads me to believe that he was the older gentleman in the store with her, trying to help her out. Is it possible he helped her get to New York? Is it possible this is the man that identified her? I'm just saying, there's a lot of unanswered questions here, but this dude is trying to come out and defend his daughter. And kudos to men who can see a need in a child and step up to the plate and be that genuine father figure with no strings attached, okay? Now, it goes on to say, when PIX11 reached the girl's mother, Mamie Moore, she denies Muse is the biological dad, but says he's been a father figure to the teen. And I'm almost certain to her son. Allegedly, reports gonna go on to say that they were living in this man's house due to the circumstances with her ex-husband and the violent situation that took place last year with the East Orange police officer hitting the girl, assaulting young JASYAH in her face, and probably the mother too, but she probably didn't press charges because reports said that, he would come in and out the house and visit. And I said maybe that's one of the reasons, if I didn't say it, that she might have ran away if the mother's ex-boyfriend kept coming around. So we all know the dispute over the girl's paternity added a new twist to the mystery that's grown more puzzling since the girl vanished on October 14th in East Orange. Mamie Moore had initially described Muse as a close family friend during her first interview with PIX11 News about the missing girl on October 27th, 13 days after her daughter is gone. When did she actually report this, y'all? So she later said she had dated him a long time ago. And see, we all know we can go back to somebody because they still like us or care about our kids or want to see us do well. So this man stepped up to the plate and gave her and her children by other men a place to stay. So he seems like he has a good heart. But again, we've seen so many cases where men liking the mother, dating the mother, now they're no interested in the mother, but they're interested in the daughter. Hence, Brother Polite and his wives and girlfriends and their children. And what's Mike's name? Holbrook or whatever, down there in Florida, with the young 18-year-old girl. He used to date her mother as well, and they got married. So I'm so glad I came across this because a lot of things are left unsaid on the table, and I just want to give you guys a broader perspective of how deep this case really goes, okay? You can't always believe the first initial reports that come out. So there's surveillance footage. There's the 14-year-old girl being seen in the deli on October 14th, the day she disappeared. But again, when was this reported? Now, if you go back to the beginning of this video, it says she flagged down the police, but I can't really remember what date, y'all. So if you know, put that down in the comments, okay? The guy that paid for my daughter's groceries was not the last person that saw her, Muse said. I ran into her on Central Ave looking for the card and walked her back home. Told her mother we could not find the card. Her mother sent her back out to look for the card. Look again, and that's the last time we saw her. So he might not be the man in the footage, okay, guys? He may have just ran into her on the street like he's saying. He was the last one he said seen her alive. He helped look for the card and so on and so forth. What do you guys think about this? I don't know. All I can say is tell the truth to shame the devil. He said he wanted the media to get the story right. And that's true. And sometimes media don't always get it right, right? And y'all, here's that $15,000 donation again, right? So anyway, he was returning home. Muse was returning home after working an overnight shift. And that's possible because you normally get off at 7. She's at the store at 7:30. And he could have been walking home. Alright? So, And he probably allegedly, Spirit says, sick and tired of her mama treating that girl like she was, wasn't worth being in the house or whatever, or being her daughter. When we texted Muse Thursday about his Facebook statement, the father responded, "Let's just find my daughter. I am not the family's friend. I am not the older man. They live with me, dang on it." I'm adding that in there, y'all. Shoot, it's getting good. "I am her father, her dad, the only one she had and the only one she would ever have." Now, wherever her biological dad is, if this is her biological dad, nobody knows. But this man is fighting hard for his daughter, like so many men don't do in our communities, right? Thank you and have a nice day. I bet he hung that damn phone up. Or if it was a text, it was all in damn cap letters, right? So here is the post Omar Muse wrote on Facebook, I do believe. "I appreciate the media reporting my daughter missing, but they got it twisted. I am not a family friend, and I am not the older man." He probably older, just not the older man who was seen with her in the footage, allegedly. "I am her father. Also, the guy that paid for my daughter's groceries, so he's establishing he's not that man, right? Was not the last person to see her, that saw her. I ran into her on Central Ave looking for the card and walked her back home. Told her mother we could not find the card, and the mother probably was there." I'm going off track here. Spirit said spazzing and acting all hood and ghetto and just weird. Scheming a plot to come up with some money. Just boiling over because of what she's going through with her ex-husband. This man may be letting them live there, but he probably fell out of love with her, just care about the children because he know what kind of Mammy Moore she is. This all in the spirit, y'all. This alleged. So, he said her mother sent her back out there to look again. And that's the last time we saw her. The mother could very well be negligent, sending her daughter back out there to look for a car and didn't offer to go look with her. I mean, again, we leave our children in compromising positions a lot of times. So the media need to get the story straight. Alright, guys, so I'm not going to go too much in here. I just want to basically say, there's a quote here. "I got people out there in different states looking for her," Muse told PIX 11 News. "I got everybody praying." Unlike the mama. She wants you to run an Amber Alert. She wants you to do all this other stuff. Put up a GoFundMe. She already considered her child lost, dead, and gone, right? Not this man. So sometimes even people who aren't related to you can love you more than those who birthed you. That was a word for somebody, okay? So it goes on in this section here about the EBT card again, the debit card, the benefit card. Jamie sent her back out there, quote, the man says. She was upset. I told y'all. Spirit don't lie. I told y'all. She told the missing girl, go find my effing card. I knew she did. I was going to say it back then, but I ain't like the mama, mammy more. The mammy. She took the phone from the missing girl, so the girl has a phone. This mother set her daughter up to potentially be missing for real, and act like she don't even care. And I told her, you shouldn't do that. Go ahead, father figure. Go ahead, father figure. So I knew something was up with the mother. Spirit don't lie. And I try not to either, dang it. So anyway, it just goes on. You know, the salon owner said the teen looked very sad that morning as she passed the shop on Central Ave. So if daddy figure did not buy her groceries, the man in the store, the older man, apparently did. And basically, still don't explain where the damn debit card. If she lost it, she lost it. It explains the man paying for it in the store. I hope she don't have no older man just meeting her in the store 7:30 in the morning, offering to pay for her food. And where is the debit card? Did it ever come up, or did she truly miss it? Or like some reports are saying, that was her excuse to get out the house. She probably cut it up and threw it away. No, I don't know. The EBT card, I mean. I don't know. You know, some kids get a little spiteful and revengeful, you know. But she was at her breaking point, all right? So it goes on to say that old daddy figure, he wasn't upset when Jamie Moore became involved with an East Orange police officer. So he was on the scene before the officer. And she went on to marry the officer like so many people do. The man that's good to you, that'll look out for your kids, won't hit your children, will respect your children, and be a steward over your children. You run from that person and you go put them in danger so your new man could punch him in the face 2 times. Or in JASYAH's case, punch her in the face 2 times. He keeping it real. This is my kind of daddy right here. Go ahead, father figure. All right, now listen. He said, who's the father of the 3-year-old son? And that's why reports in the spirit say he still be visiting her. Maybe not at his house. I hope daddy figure ain't letting that man, other than to come sit in the living room, see his son kind of thing. But I'm sure there's hotels and things around. He probably got his own place. But I'm saying, if this man was coming around her mother and JASYAH was there, she felt very uncomfortable, spirit says. She felt like, dang, my mama choosing this man over me. Like so many children do. And it says, you know, he's the father of the 3-year-old son. He said the cop, Jamie Moore, and the 2 children even lived with him on Amherst Street for a period in 2018. So he is that kind of man that'll let the new man lay up in the house with the old girl. Oh, I told y'all this was a good... Ooh, I'm glad Spirit let me hear to check this article out, child. Thanks to PIX11. Alright, guys, if you want to go ahead and read the rest of this article yourself, you can. I just want to give one more quote here. So, old father figure said, when I woke up, I had a house full of police. He remembered. Muse remembered. Muse said he was not asked by the FBI to take a polygraph test, although Jamie Moore, the teen's mother, was. And police know who is sincere. Police can discern a criminal when they are actually related to a case. I mean, we all should be able to be there by now. Look at somebody and say, nah, you lying. Nah, you telling the truth. Oh, you was involved. What did you do? Kind of thing, right? Muse, it goes on to say, continue to insist He's the biological father of the child, and goes on to say this quote, "I'm her dad," Muse said. He said he was there when she was born. And he could, if a DNA test is not taken to rule that out, this man probably believe in his spirit he is the child's father. What does Maury have to say about that? Not the father, or you are the father. Quote, "That's my baby. She's the last one I had," he said. "I have 4 daughters. She's number 4. Jamie Moore says she did not list the father's name on the girl's birth certificate. And it could be very well because she might have been embarrassed that it's this man, Omar Muse, for whatever reason. Or maybe she was thinking, I don't know. We don't know. Jamie, we need for you to come clean and let us know exactly what's going on. Quote, "Omar and me are not in a relationship," she said. "I didn't tell you anything that was false. Girl, you said your daughter was missing. If that ain't a lie straight from the pit of hell, you better go read John 8:44, honey, because you do the lust of your father, baby. Ain't no truth in you. Murder was in you from the beginning. You speak of your own accord, and Satan is the father of lies." That's how you can tell who Satan's father is. So Moore also says she did not report her daughter as a runaway, something the Essex County prosecutor reported Wednesday. This woman was up to no good. I believe she was exploiting her daughter basically just to get some attention in her life, just to cover up that grand jury testifying that's going on, just to raise some money. She probably was strapped for cash, saw an easy way out. I don't know if this was made up. I don't know who's in cahoots with her. I just hope that the young girl had nothing other than running away from home to stop being abused with this situation. And like I said, it's sad. But we have heard from old father figures. So y'all, that ends and concludes my coverage of this story. I won't be doing it anymore other than to telling you if I hear updates or whatever. I hope you enjoyed this video. God bless you and have a great day.